How we doing out there? I appreciate you checking out my channel, SK Lifestyle. Before we get started, if you could just hit that subscribe button down below, I appreciate it. So, if you're new to vinyl, you're probably wondering, how does it apply? How long does it last? But also, how do you take it off? So that's what this video is going to cover. And we're currently in a leased vehicle that we have. I did vinyl wrap about 6 pieces, and they're starting to wear a little bit. Plus, because we're going to be returning it soon, my wife's not, a vinyl guru, she kind of wants to know that it'll be able to come off so that there's no issues when it's time to turn in the leased vehicle. So I may end up wrapping something afterwards, but at least this will give her a little peace of mind, and it'll also help you guys out. So really the only thing you need is your hands and a pretty decently warm day. That'll help you take off 90-95% of vinyls. But if you're having a little bit more problems, or it's been on for a while, and it's a very tacky material, because the vinyls do vary between companies and versions, then a heat gun is going to be your best bet. Or if you don't have one, a hair dryer. So that said, let's get started. I got about 6 pieces here, and again, I'll start off with everything with just my hands, no heat, just so you can see how well or how hard it is to pull off, and then you'll see the heat gun in action and how that helps to assist real tacky substances or a spot that's just a trouble area. So let's get started. All right, so the first piece we have here is the steering wheel. And you can see both of these are laid in all on this plastic portions. Now, you can do a real close-up and you can see it's starting to bubble. Pieces that were wrapped around and nice and tight before are starting to come down. And it's just a little worn. So again, we're going to take that off. And what you want to do, which will be pretty easy for a piece like this where it's starting to wear and peel up a little bit, is just find a corner. So I'm going to start right here where it's already peeling up and just kind of use my fingers and get a good piece of it. And then you just start peeling away. So I can grab in here, get better tension. And sometimes slow and steady works. If it's peeling off well, then you want it to consistently do that, rather than end up leaving some of the glue and you got to go back with some alcohol or Goo Gone or something like that. Now if you see, again, I'm still just using my hands. So that came all the way off except for this little piece here. And I'll go ahead, came off. Now these 2 pieces were just to make up for some issues with the chrome peeling and cracking, and just to fill in the voids. So that's why they didn't come off. So there you go with that. And then I'll come down here, just find a little flap. Now that wasn't bad at all, was it? I mean, it literally took seconds. And again, it's about a 90-degree day here. It's sunny, so the car's nice and warmed up. Even if it was cold, it probably would have peeled off. But we'll go ahead and do the other one. Now I'm going to use a little heat just to see how well it helps us out here. See, now in this instance, it almost started to make it a little harder. And the only reason why I say that is because of the material. So I'm using a kind of chrome, and it's just very thin, and you can see how stretchy it was. So as I heated it up, it just started to almost like liquefy. Not really, but you know what I mean, like just get so jelly. If it was a thicker material, it wouldn't have done that as quickly and would have helped to peel off. But you saw right at first when I heated it up, it just immediately wanted to slide, and then it just got so malleable. So that's where it depends. Sometimes you need the heat, sometimes you don't. All right, next piece here. door piece. So again, I'll give you a quick little close-up. And it's not too bad, but we got some bubbling and you can see it's starting to peel. So just go ahead and grab a corner. There you go. And it's great when you can just get it to peel off all in one sheet. But you can almost, I don't know if you can see that, you can almost see through the material in some directions. So, before I go on to the middle console, I'll go over here and I will do the same. I'll just go ahead and find a corner, start peeling up. Now, if you are starting to get residue, I know a lot of time, like on my boat, because some of the stickers and stuff I have to put on my boat are just sitting in the heat all day long. I mean, they're really on there. They're tacked on good. So usually some heat is the way to go for those situations. But actually, that's a perfect example of just what happened there. So I'm taking off that little piece. And do you see those marks? Now those aren't permanent marks, that's just glue marks. So everything peeled off all right, but that last piece was just stuck on there pretty good, and then the way that I had to peel it off, it smeared it on. So all you need to do is just use a little alcohol and clean it off. Now if it's really bad, I definitely suggest Goof Off. They have different versions, just get a pretty decent, powerful, I think even the basic will work, but I think the stepped up one is a little better if you really have tough like stickers that have been on there for years and they just peeled off terribly. But Goof Off definitely makes a big difference, and then you could just clean it up afterwards with some isopropyl alcohol. So now on to our last two. And this one actually isn't too bad. There's some bubbles. There's a little peeling, but not too bad. But like I said, either way, all of this is coming off. And I'm going to expect that, it's just going to peel pretty decently because the rest have. And I don't think the glue on this specific vinyl was too tacky to begin with. The major problem was just because of the chrome aspect. You start getting lines and wrinkles and stuff. So while it was easy to maneuver around different surfaces and stuff, the material look itself didn't hold up too well when you had to, keep adjusting it and go, over it time and time again, versus some of the other materials like a matte finish or something that, would work a little better. So now we got one left. Let's do it. It's the center console. I'm going to put my money on it's coming right off. All right, so here we are. Center console. This is definitely taking some beating. You could see it's peeling up there, in the back here. That I had to kind of stitch together because it kind of cracked when I put it in, but we're getting some bubbling. So it just needs to go. But one thing I will say is, when you see me peeling these up, do you see that finish? And I know you've seen it before. Other than some glue you might need to wipe away, and I'm glad this happened, only one little instance, a tiny little dime-sized piece did I need to do it. But for the most part, no glue, and everything underneath is just how it was when you first applied it. And because this is a new car, the surfaces look new. So let's go ahead here, and it is peeling off just fine. I would use the heat gun a little more, but in this situation, like I showed you, it's not the best. Now, if it was a cold day, or this was on here for, 3-4 years, then we might actually need the heat, and it may be more beneficial than a negative. But in this situation, because it's so hot and there's not that much tackiness to it, we just don't need it at all. And actually it was more of a hindrance. And you don't have to be as gentle as I'm being. It's nice to have it come off all in one piece. The other part about it is it's just somehow weirdly satisfying. It's like one of those slow motion videos or something like that. Like just getting the whole piece off at once is just kind of almost mesmerizing and like a little bit of a win. I don't know. Sounds crazy, but as soon as you start doing it, you know, you're gonna feel the same way. But yeah, you can just go crazy. I mean, you're taking it off. It's not like you're putting it on. So if you rip it 5 times, what does it really matter? So there we go. That's all the way off. And now all the pieces in the car no longer have vinyl. And yeah, we're all set. I mean, that's it. So I'm sure, just like many people, my wife included, you know, you're just a little nervous about what is the result going to be. And personally, before I ever really got into vinyl, that was a thought of mine too. It's just natural. You know what I mean? What is the cause and effect of what you're going to be doing? So at least you can rest assured that there's not too much trouble. I may end up doing another video if I end up peeling off something and the sticker just leaves a whole ton of glue, and then I can just show my process of taking off glue and that sort of thing. But leave your comments and questions down below. I appreciate you watching. Again, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions for me, leave them. Like I said, I always get back to you guys. I appreciate you watching. I will have more vinyl videos coming out. I am going on vacation soon, so I'm going to be doing some cool stuff with some vinyls in the ski. You already know. SK Lifestyle. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.